All right, so let's talk. Well, we talked about your kids and raising your family.
Right.
Let's talk about your upbringing, your parents. What were some of the things that were instilled in you coming up?
Man, I don't know if my mother did it on purpose, but my mother didn't let me make roots, so to speak.
Huh.
And we moved every year from the time I was in second grade to the time I was in the 10th grade. And that did something for me. It made me used to being in new spaces. Like, I don't get bashful or shy for nothing. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
like performing, whatever, that stuff comes natural now because all my life I was a new kid. Like, we just moved here. And so that's a big thing. The other thing it did for me was it didn't link me to too many people who weren't productive. Because the areas that we lived in were some rough areas, and I'm sure that if I had wound up there for 10, 15 years, then I would be linked to those people. And we know that it's a small percentage of people that wind up being productive when you come from an unproductive background. So it's not really too much you can do about that. But a big part of it was who you wind up linking up with. And I just thank God that she worked it out the way she did, man.
So those of us who, have earned the right to say we're grown now, and have kids that we need to raise and instill some things in, we often have the conversation that these kids just don't get it, or they don't follow the rules, or what have you.
Right.
How much truth do you think there is to that, or how much do you think it's just part of being in a different generation? And then, if you do think it's true, what are those things that they just don't get?
Well, I know humans do things the easiest way. That's just a law of conservation. You're not going to spend extra energy for some mystic purpose or whatever. You're not going to do that. Humans don't do that. We do whatever's easiest. And so we're too easy on the kids. We make their life very easy. And then we get mad when they don't want to do anything. Like, let's not be ridiculous, man. You just got to stop making it so easy for them. If you put 70% of your material energy into making it comfortable for these children, then of course they're not going to want to do anything. And they're not going to respect you because you've shown yourself as their servant. No matter what they do, achieve or don't achieve, produce or don't produce, you're still going to be their servant. So why should they respect you? Why should they go with what you want? If we stop living that slave mentality, then
And I know you find yourself in the role of educator often.
too often, for real.
So how does this all manifest itself as you're trying to educate youth into being productive?
Well, what you find is too often you have parents who really expect things from their child that is, totally unrealistic. You have a child who is used to getting threats or some type of physical, slavery throwback type of reinforcement for everything, and the ethos in the house is basically you better do what I say do, or what? I'm gonna hurt you. So when they come into the school environment and nobody can hurt them, like they're not gonna do anything that the teachers say. Like, it only makes sense. It's like 1 + 1. And a lot of times you hear people say slavery mentality and that whatever, but nobody really makes it clear what does that mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah, you know, and
So-
that's what it means. It means if you have a slave that is on one plantation, he gets lashed if he doesn't do anything. On the other plantation, he just gets talked to if he doesn't do anything. Then he's only going to work where he's getting his ass beat.